Wild Talents, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 28a. That everything that is desirable is not worth having, that happiness and unhappiness are emotional rhythms that are so nearly independent of one's circumstances that good news or bad news only stimulate the amplitude of these waves, without affecting the ratio of ups to downs, or that one might as well try to make, in a pond, waves that are altitudes only, as to try to be happy, without suffering equal and corresponding unhappiness. But, so severely stated, this is mechanistic philosophy. And I am a mechanist. Sometimes something that is desirable is not only not worth having, but is a damn sight worse than that. Is life worth living? Like everybody else, I have many times asked that question, usually deciding negatively, because I am most likely to ask myself whether life is worth living, at times when I am convinced it isn't. One day, in one of my frequent, and probably incurable, scientific moments, it occurred to me to find out. For a month, at the end of each day, I set down a plus sign, or a minus sign, indicating that, in my opinion, life had, or had not, been worth living that day. At the end of the month, I totted up, and I can't say that I was altogether pleased to learn that the pluses had won the game. It is not dignified to be optimistic. I had no units by which to make my alleged determinations. Some of the plus days may have been only faintly positive, and, here and there, one of the minus day may have been so ferociously negative as to balance a dozen faintly positive days. Of course I did attempt gradations of notation, but they were only cutting pseudo-units into smaller pseudo-units. Also, out of the highly negative, or very distressing, experience, one may learn something that will mean a row of pluses in the future. Also, some pluses simply mean that one has misinterpreted events of the day and is in for much minus. Or that nothing, a joy or a sorrow, the planet Jupiter, or an electron, can be picked out of its environment, so as finally to be labeled either plus or minus, because as a finally identifiable thing it does not exist, or that such attempted isolations and determinations are only scientific.